Throughout 20 years of marriage, today's story has a similar plot. Enjoy it. Stacy Lipton, smiling, drove her BMW on the highway in Atlanta. She anticipated having to return home a bit later than planned, but attributed it to the well-known traffic jams in the city. The delay in departure seemed like wasted time to her, blaming it on Atlanta traffic. Nick, almost 10 years younger than Stacy, was not only a wonderful lover, but also an excellent conversationalist. His attractiveness and ability to quickly recover after intimate encounters were evident. As she drove away from the city, Stacy's thoughts gradually drifted away from Nick. Despite his attractiveness, there were places reserved in her heart for Jonathan and Casey, her daughter. Stacy looked forward to spending time with them, especially now that her satisfaction was complete. She was aware of her moods and planned to be patient and loving toward Jonathan. Upon returning home, her smile showed that she felt like she had the best of both worlds. Upon arriving home, Stacy noticed her husband's pickup truck was missing from the garage, which struck her as strange and unexpected. This caused a shift in her mood. She hoped Jonathan would return home to greet her after her long trip. However, the house was empty. While pondering where Jonathan and Casey might be, Stacy suddenly remembered that her phone had been turned off since dinner. Her thoughts were distracted, and she didn't even notice that no one had called her. She decided to turn on her phone, returning to reality once again. Jonathan congratulated himself once again on having succeeded in executing a simple but brilliant plan to please and surprise his wife. He had known about her planned conference in Atlanta for months. Stacy visited them twice a year. As fate would have it, this conference fell on their 20th wedding anniversary. A few weeks earlier, Jonathan had been approached about building a large vacation home for a family in Atlanta. Once the business portion of the meeting was completed and Jonathan felt comfortable with the client, Boyd Drake, he expressed an idea that had only recently formed in his head. Boyd, on the 10th of next month, our anniversary, my wife will be attending a conference in downtown Atlanta. I would like to surprise her and her colleague with a nice dinner at a good restaurant somewhere near her hotel. To top it off, I bought a pearl necklace that I would like to present to her at the table when she eats dinner. My daughter should organize this for you, Boyd said. She's in college now and knows all the good places in the city. She could see to it that the necklace ends up in your wife's hands. It sounds like you're planning on being lucky when your wife comes home. Why don't you just go to Atlanta with her and deliver it yourself? I've proposed in the past, but Stacy insists she's too busy to spend time with me. She will have a late dinner and return to the hotel as soon as possible to rest. The next day, I have obligations here, and to travel this far only to be ignored seems a little stupid, Jonathan reasoned. I have another idea, Jonathan added. Suppose I buy your daughter and her friend dinner if she agrees to sit at the table next to Stacy and send me a live video on Facebook. I'd love to see Stacy's surprised look when she opens the necklace box. I'll give you my daughter's number, and you can call or text her to arrange everything, Boyd replied. I'm sure she'll be happy to help get this done. Jonathan had several pizzas delivered to his home for a party he was throwing to celebrate his 20th anniversary. He invited his parents, Stacy's parents, his brother and sister-in-law, and Stacy's younger divorced sister. They all expected to see Stacy in real time when he surprised her with an anniversary gift. Jonathan's 16-year-old daughter, Casey, was also there with several of her friends. Jonathan had everything set up so they could watch the video on the big screen TV. Boyd's daughter would sit as close to Stacy as she could without arousing her suspicions. She would send videos to Jonathan via Facebook Live. She paid the waiter to deliver the wrapped gift after Stacy and her coworker, Sue, ordered food. We'll see Stacy's reaction in real time. This will be the best anniversary ever, considering we are so far apart, Jonathan explained with a happy smile. I set everything up so that no sound will be transmitted from our side, so feel free to make comments including what a great idea I had. Who is this guy with Mom? Casey asked as Stacy came into view, holding hands with a handsome young man. Didn't you say she would be with Sue? I don't know who he is, Jonathan admitted. He seems to be a pretty close friend. Stacy's father simply made a harumph sound and frowned at Jonathan's statement.